Yo, what's up guys? It's Cole Level 2 here. Thanks so much for watching, and welcome to part 2 of my entire FNAF timeline theory. If you haven't seen part 1, you should definitely watch that first, since otherwise you won't really understand most of the things I'm saying in this video. So there is a link down in the description below, and if you've already seen part 1 or you just don't care and want to watch this, then either way is fine. But before we move on, if you do enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like, and if you want to see more awesome theories about your favorite games, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss any new content, because it helps out a ton, and I really appreciate it. And always remember, this is all just my theory, and you shouldn't just blindly take my word for it. You should always think critically and come up with your own theories, and let me know in the comment section below. Anyway, that being said, let's jump right into the timeline. Last time we left off on a cliffhanger after William had been crushed inside the Spring Bonnie suit and transformed into Springtrap. Once Fazbear Entertainment found the mess, they quickly sealed up the safe room in order to hide the incident from the public. At this time, Michael started wondering how the heck he could possibly still be alive despite literally all of his insides being ripped out of his body, so he got a job as the nighttime security guard at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza in order to find the answers. But all he found was horrific nightmares. You see, all the animatronics in that location were still possessed and very, very hungry for revenge and filled with agony, and so they constantly attacked Michael during his nighttime shifts. But Golden Freddy, aka the spirits of both Cassidy and the Crying Child, haunted him in a much darker way. Instead of mindlessly attacking Michael, they used the power of agony to give him terrifying nightmares while he would go home and go to sleep. Where in these nightmares he would relive the old memories of the Crying Child as he was constantly tormented by William in order to stop him from leaving the house. And in those dreams, Cassidy haunted Michael in the form of Nightmare Fredbear, and the Crying Child haunted Michael in the form of Nightmare. Eventually, Michael got fired from his job, but soon after, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza closed down because, I don't know if you know this, but people don't really tend to dine at places that have histories of murdering children, so Fazbear Entertainment had no locations opened until 30 entire years later in the year 2023, when they teamed up with an amusement park to open a horror attraction called Fazbear's Frights. Unfortunately, in their haste to open the horror attraction and get an actual working animatronic, they broke into the safe room and grabbed the old Spring Bonnie suit and just threw it in. But little did they know, William was still alive in there because of the remnant and agony, and now he haunts the halls of Fazbear's Frights. Once Michael found out there was another Fazbear location opened, he immediately knew something bad was gonna happen, so he got a job as a security guard there a week before the place opened in order to find the answers that he seeked and stop his dad once and for all. During Michael's shifts, Springtrap, aka Michael's own father William, would constantly come after him and try to kill him. And the puppet, aka the spirit of Henry's daughter Charlotte, who was still restless and filled with agony, gave Michael terrifying hallucinations to try and scare him away from the location. But Michael was far more persistent and wanted to stop his father once and for all. So he finally figured out how to set the children free, and he burnt Fazbear's Frights down in an attempt to get rid of Springtrap. But it doesn't work. Springtrap survives, and Michael tells him that he's going to come find him. But something else is also happening. The Crying Child gets his happiest day. You see, before Michael burnt down the location, he made it his mission to uncover the past of Fazbear Entertainment and set all the children free once and for all. And so, the crying child got his happiest day, where he got to live out the birthday party he never had. And so, the children possessing Freddy, Bonnie, Chica, and Foxy, as well as the crying child, finally let go of their hatred and agony, and finally got set free. However, Michael knew that he wasn't quite done. After all, William was still alive, Cassidy and Charlotte were still restless and filled with agony, and there were still animatronics with Remnant just running around. So, Michael teamed up with Henry to get rid of all the animatronics once and for all. So, they built one last Freddy Fazbear location to lure every animatronic. They lured in Scrap Trap, which is what Springtrap became after the fire, Scrap Baby, who was kicked out of Ennard during an argument, Molten Freddy, who was Ennard after they made Funtime Freddy their new leader, and Lefty, an animatronic designed by Henry to capture the puppet, aka Henry's daughter. After a week, Henry and Michael managed to lure every single animatronic to the location and burn it down once and for all. And so, Scrap Baby, Molten Freddy, Scrap Trap, and Lefty were all destroyed in the fire. And even though there was a way out planned for Michael instead chose to stay in the fire so that all the remnant in him could finally be destroyed. And we don't know with 100% certainty, but I think it's safe to assume that Henry died in the fire as well. And so, with that, we close the book on the story of Five Nights at Freddy's. Or so we thought. You see, there's still one person who hasn't been set free yet. Cassidy. She's still restless and angry and filled with agony, and she's not quite done with William yet. So, in the fire, William didn't completely die, but thanks to Cassidy, he got trapped in a sort of purgatory where he wasn't quite alive, but he wasn't quite dead, and he was trapped within an eternal nightmare created by Cassidy, which we get to explore in Ultimate Custom Night. In this eternal nightmare created by Cassidy, William would constantly be tormented at the hands of his own creations, who all reminded him of the one he should not have killed, that being Cassidy. And so, Cassidy kept William in this purgatory to torment him forever and ever and ever. A few years later, I'm gonna estimate in the year 2025, Fazbear Entertainment had a lot of bad press because, well, a bunch of kids died at their locations, so they decided to try and figure out how to make some kind of cover-up in order to hide the truth from the public. So they hired an indie game developer to make games based on what really happened, so that then they could blame all those stories on being made up by him and say that it was all just some made-up video game story and make their own VR game to cover it up. So basically, they're making a VR game as a cover-up, but unfortunately, in their haste to make the VR game, they scanned circuit boards left over from the fire that still had William's consciousness in them, so William got coded into the game as the virus known as Glitch Trap. So William haunted the game's code and can enter the minds of people, but he can't fully take over them, so he has to convince them and manipulate them into doing as he says and murdering people for his evil plan to return to reality. The first person that William tried to corrupt was a man named Jeremy, a beta tester who, well, tested the beta version of the game. I mean, it's kinda in the name. But anyways, Glitchtrap entered Jeremy's mind and tried to convince him to kill and follow all his orders. But Jeremy didn't want to become corrupted, so he cut off his own face and killed himself. And his friend, Tape Girl, started recording an audio log about what she'd been finding in the game because she was another beta tester. And eventually, she realized that Glitchtrap had latched onto her audio log, so she broke it apart into smaller tapes and scattered them throughout the game, but not before Glitchtrap entered her mind. And so, she recorded one last tape about, quote-unquote, instructions to defeat Glitchtrap, but it was really a trick to make Glitchtrap enter somebody's mind. But Tape Girl didn't want to become corrupted either, so she killed herself as well. So with both Tape Girl and Jeremy dead, the company that Fazbear Entertainment had hired to make the game got sued, and so the game had to be finished by a different company. And they got a security guard named Vanessa to test out the game, but she found the old tapes by Tape Girl and eventually followed her instructions by putting the tapes together and trying to get rid of Glitchtrap. But instead of getting rid of Glitchtrap, Glitchtrap entered her mind and corrupted her and tried to convince her to do as he said. But this time, she actually listened to him and willingly followed his orders. In fact, we actually hear a conversation between Vanessa and Glitchtrap in the Curse of Dreadbear DLC. Listen.
Yes, I hear you. I know. No. There's no miscommunication. I understand. Yes, I have it. I made it myself. I think you would like it. No one suspects anything. Don't worry. I'll be ready. And I won't let you down. It will be fun.
Once the VR game got released to the public, it was a huge success, and so many people played it and loved it, and Fazbear Entertainment had totally rebuilt their reputation and cleared their name, and so now they decided that they were going to make a delivery service so that they could drop off animatronics to people's houses to entertain them. Unfortunately, in their haste to make the delivery service, they, of course, scanned circuit boards. Like, what is it with them and scanning circuit boards, bruh? And anyways, they scanned circuit boards from the old Golden Freddy animatronic that still had Cassidy's soul inside of it. And so, she got scanned into the special delivery service as the C virus. Cassidy was extremely angry. She didn't want to be brought back to life. She didn't want William to be brought back. She just wanted to torment William for all eternity. But now, she was back and she was more angry than ever and filled with agony. So she used her agony to corrupt all the animatronics into the delivery service and make them attack people. And her goal was just to scare people, but this went horribly wrong because the animatronics got out of hand and started killing people. And eventually Fazbear Entertainment realized there was a virus in the system, so Vanessa offered to help get rid of the virus, but we all know she wasn't really gonna help. All she did was make the virus invisible to Fazbear Entertainment and scan William's soul, aka Glitchtrap, into the delivery service. And so, he built manufactured Springtrap models and possessed them, making them kill a bunch of people. So Cassidy realized that she really messed up and she needed to fix her mistake. So, she built a manufactured Golden Freddy animatronic and herself as a spirit possessed this animatronic to hunt down William and get rid of him once and for all. But that doesn't quite work because that suit becomes corrupted. So now Cassidy is fighting back against her own agony and urge to kill. And so with that, we leave on a cliffhanger for the new Security Breach trailer. But before we discuss that, I want to touch on one question, which is, why is Shadow Bonnie still around during FNAF AR? Because that's actually a pretty tricky question. But if you guys remember my previous video about FNAF, part 1, in that I said my theory about Shadow Bonnie was that he was the embodiment of the children's agony. And so the reason why he'd still be around is because Cassidy's soul is still alive and filled with agony. And so she still has that agony inside of her, so Shadow Bonnie isn't quite gone yet, because that agony still isn't quite gone yet. But anyway, that's just my theory. Let me know why you think Shadow Bonnie is still here in the comment section below. And now the last thing we have are some teaser trailers for the upcoming Security Breach game. And guys, it looks awesome. It looks like it's going to be the first one to be in completely free roam. And it looks like we're going to be in some kind of massive pizzaplex. It's like the biggest location we've ever seen in these games. And we're going to be playing as a child named Gregory, being chased around by Vanessa, aka Vanny, which is short for Vanessa Bunny. And anyway, she's going to be chasing us around and trying to murder us, clearly to appease Glitch Trap. And guys, this game just looks so awesome, and I just can't wait. So anyway, guys, that was my entire FNAF timeline theory. What did you guys think? Did you agree? Did you disagree? Let me know in the comment section below. And make sure to like, subscribe, and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss out on any new content. And anyway, that being said, you guys have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in the next video.